Hey, peace. Welcome to Hip Hop Astrology. I want to give you a disclaimer before this video starts, okay? I want to build on something real quick that Einstein mentioned. He said the distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubborn, persistent illusion. In other words, in a nutshell, they're saying it's like the present don't exist, time don't exist, and the past and future don't exist. In this video with Irv Gotti, there's something that he said an astrologer told him, and it's two things. One is she said about something happened about 30 years ago that was drastic, and you were too young to remember. It's about to happen again. This is interesting. And then the second one would be she told him there's nothing that he could do about it, about the chain of events that were going to happen. And the people's not going to believe him when he tried to tell his story and whatnot, okay? So I want to build on those two things real fast on this disclaimer. Because you can, just like the past can predict the future, right? You know, based off observation, that after the summer is going to be the fall. You know this, right? So it's just like on a very, very, what they would call mundane level, you can see if you burn yourself, right? Presently, you burn yourself, and then in the next couple of days, you're about to go through a grueling healing process in the future. Tomorrow, the next day, next week, and so forth, you're going to be going through a grueling healing process. That's the future, okay? So now when you're in the future, your past experience has put you in the future. Real common sense. The present is now, and tomorrow is the future. But when you get to tomorrow, the future now turns into the present. And then yesterday, that was the present and future now turns into the past. Okay, so it's real simple to understand. Okay, but I really want to pay attention to what she told Irv. She told Irv that, hey, something happened to you about 30 years ago and it's about to come around again. We can see how the past will affect the future. Okay, you just use the burning technique. The past can affect the future. Here's what a lot of people don't know is the present moment right now, you can affect the past. And by affecting the past, you recreate a future. Okay? Listen, we do this all the time. We call this special technique the positron pass. We offer it at theImaginationguru.com. All right. And without me getting too far into it, but it's just a fact. If, and it's true, the current moment today, the present, which will become the past tomorrow, can affect the future, which is tomorrow. Okay. Then can we presently go back in our minds, like we replay these old memories that's haunting us, change the reality in the past, so when the immediate future comes or tomorrow comes, we have a different outcome. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done with the right technique. Okay, so I just want to get that disclaimer out there, and this is what the physicist boys is talking about. Listen, man, I'm telling y'all, get up on this science, man. Get up on this science. All right, theImaginationguru.com. Enjoy the video. Peace. Fifth dimension, Aquarius I am. We in the Aquarius age for the next 2,000 years, you dig?
Swing low, time to move on. Light years in time, ahead of our time.
I want to free your mind by helping you understand the zodiac signs. That's right, you're live with Aquaman in the zodiac zone where the cosmos is your home. I'm your very own Anpu The Urban Guru coming through on the mothership. So let's open up your cosmic memory bank and swing down to earth where the shit stain. Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Hip Hop Astrology TV, man. I'm back at you once again. We're going to get into this Irv Gotti today. That's right, Irv Gotti, man. I keep giving references to Irv Gotti in this Breakfast Club interview and how he had actually talked about how he was, he met with an astrologer, psychic friend, a friend of his wife's rather, at a party, okay? And she gave him a reading. So I got that clip that I'm going to actually play for you today so you can understand exactly what he was saying. And most importantly, I'm going to show you exactly what he was talking about. This is going to be amazing. I'm talking facts, man. Nothing but facts as usual. All right. But before we get into that, man, I'll be right back after the break.
Are you plagued by trauma, abandonment, or abuse? The Imagination Guru has helped thousands just like you overcome emotional memories that prevent you from happiness and success using the power of your mind. Overcome your trauma, overcome your abandonment, overcome your abuse by first making the decision right now to call the Imagination Guru at 1-877-345-3797 and live the life you deserve.
Hello, I am Chanel Favors, and I'm part of the Total Love Fund. I've had my bills paid, and the great part about it is you help others while they help you. Also, I am the mindfulness teacher at Oakview Elementary. Also, you can reach me on Facebook at Chanel Fagan. Look me up.
All right. So let's get into some quick announcements real fast. Listen, man, we busy over here, the priesthood, which consists of myself, my brother, Minister Jew, who I call the Prime Minister. He has a webinar coming up on the 23rd of July at 12 noon called Programming Your Inner Space. Man, listen, this is going to be phenomenal. Again, we're going to give you a sneak peek into this particular webinar absolutely free on the 13th of July. The only thing you have to do is get on the email list. Go to theimaginationguru.com. Drop your email off. Bam. We're going to send you an email with the conference link and phone number the day of the event. All right. So on July the 13th, we're going to have that webinar. It's free. All right. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. So at 7:30, 7:45, 15 minutes before start time, open up your email. All of the information is going to be in the email where you can call the number, click on the link, and see the visual live presentation. It's going to be phenomenal. Ask questions because it's a prelude into why it's important to get into this thing called programming your inner space. Why it's important to understand the key to self-realization. All right. So get into that. All right. On my side, go to myastrologycoach.com. Click on the events, man. Kitty karma. Nobody wants to talk about it. I got to talk about it, man. Somebody got to tell the truth. Somebody got to tell the truth and start raising the bar of consciousness for the next generation. All right. So kitty karma, removing negative energy before it starts. Listen, the first 10 people that get in here, it's only a few slots left, who get in, you will get this reading. You'll get a reading absolutely free. All right. My first 10 people, I'm going to give you a reading absolutely free live inside of the webinar. I'm going to bring some case studies with me, such as the Alton Sterling's and the Trayvon Martin cases. I'm going to show you how you can see some things. All right. So the goal here, of course, is to show you techniques on how to remove negative energy before it starts. All right. That's the key. But listen, I can get you in this webinar absolutely free, but I'm going to need you to do something. You will have to step up to the plate and take advantage of the solar lunar eclipse reading that I'm doing. All right. This is a crackhead special that I'm giving you. All right. And when you take this opportunity right here, the solar lunar eclipse reading that I'm doing, if you take it before August the 1st, it has to be before August the 1st. That's how you'll get into my webinar for absolutely free, is when you schedule a private consult with me. All right. Very important. I'm going to show why. And once again, the lunar and solar eclipses are important. I'm going to show you that because it took place in Irv Gotti's chart as well. So the last 3 videos, well, this makes the third one. You look at the previous two, Jay-Z and Kanye West. Are they beefing? Look at that video if you haven't seen it. And then look at the Venus Williams video, okay? So coupled with this one, the Irv Gotti video, that's going to be 3 consecutive videos showing you the power of solar and lunar eclipses and how it marks dramatic turns in your life, okay? Without a shadow of a doubt. So again, myastrologycoach.com, go to the consultation tab, take advantage of this crackhead price. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, because of confidentiality agreements that I have, right? I don't brag about being a celebrity astrologer and having read for Grammy Award winning artists, Grammy nominated artists. That particular artist didn't win. All right. And even one of the world's most famous life coaches out there. Straight up. I really want to say, but I won't say, you know what I mean? But listen, man. And back then I was charging super crackhead price. That was in my early days and whatnot, but they reached out to me, and I cannot ever thank this brother enough for giving me that opportunity to read that particular person. So when I say crackhead prices, listen, take advantage of this, okay? It's only $99, but I'm going to give you the webinar for free because I want to educate you in this process so you can learn how to do it yourself, okay? And a part of that is what? I keep pointing to this right here. Get this workbook, self-activation workbook. Know about yourself. Know about energy. It's okay to get a reading and a consultant with somebody. That's what we're here for. That's no problem. But if you do want to learn, I got something for you. It's called the self-activation workbook. All right. So with that, one more thing, man, the Pocono Mountain Retreat. All right. How can you get into it? Listen, man, this is going to be off the chain. It's only 20 seats available. All right, my preliminary list of my members who's coming. This is only for members only. In order to take advantage of this, you must be a member. When you saw the commercial with the Love Fund, hey, join that Love Fund. It's on myastrologycoach.com. Simply go up to the membership tab. Bam, it's going to be right there. Listen, for 3 days and 3 nights, we in the Poconos. I got you. All right, you're going to come into Philadelphia on Friday. I got 2 vans that's going to leave in the early afternoon and later in the evening, get you up to the Poconos. I keep saying it. My entrepreneurs that's there, let's talk business. Let's talk about success. Let's talk about mapping out your plan. All right. We're going to be in the beautiful Poconos. Saturday morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to go to a waterfall and do a waterfall meditation. Water is powerful. It's a cleanser. We're going to get into a great meditation. Come back. I got 2 houses, one for the ladies, one for the brothers. All right. We're going to have a little cook-off between a little battle of the sexes in the houses, have a nice little taste test going on and whatnot. We're going to have conversations with the priesthood, myself, my brother, the prime minister. All right. Going to have additional services available. I got all kind of technology to show you about your aura, the energy colors around you, your chakra, the energy centers in your body. I got heart technology to show you how to get your heartbeat on the right wave. That's very important to understand that. All right. We're going to have aromatherapy there, Reiki healing sessions there, massage services there, facial services are there. All right. That's the extended day on Saturday. Okay. Those are about private appointments only on Saturday because they extended. Because on Sunday, what's built in for you is we having an all-white day party, early afternoon. I'm talking champagne, orange juice, mimosas. I'm talking about fruit, a nice clean brunch. Okay. And then you're going to get a complimentary 20-minute facial. Okay. And then you're also going to get a complimentary foot scrub. Okay. Take care of your body, man. Take care of your body. Because this is what's going to happen. When you leave the Poconos and we check out on Monday morning and we get back to Philly and you go back going about your business, you're going to be in a state of bliss and in a state of empowerment. Most importantly, you're going to have clarity. That's the key. You're going to have absolute clarity on your mission and accomplishing your goals. Very important to have that. All right. Because this time it's the equinox. The equinox is a state of balance. The earth is only balanced evenly by day and night 2 times a year. Okay. She's either always a lot of light or always a lot of darkness, depending if you live north of the equator or south of the equator. Okay. So therefore, unless you live on the equator, you always got even Steven. All right. And what's the odds of that? All right. So therefore, listen, you want to be in a state of balance, but in order to attend this Pocono Mountain private retreat, you must be a member. Again, myastrologycoach.com, memberships tab, Love Fund. All right. So let's get into my brother Irv Gotti. Again, I'm going to play this clip for you. And I want you to pay close attention to the facts that he mentioned. She started talking this astrology stuff and said the moon crossed over the path of the sun in about 30 years ago. Those are the key. Something crossing the path of the sun. Irv Gotti said the moon. I don't think it was the moon. But nevertheless, something crossed the path of the sun. 30 years, that's fact number 2. So fact number 1 is the path of the sun. 30 years is fact number 2. Okay? I'm going to show you what crossed the path of the sun and what takes 30 years to make an orbit. And then I'm going to show you how exactly what I'm showing you is going to line up to the external events that took place in his life. Enjoy this quick clip.
After that, she said, "You ready for the bad stuff?" Now, let me paint the picture. It's 2002. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, Pain is Love.
Yeah.
J-Lo records. It's fucking crazy.
Nothing's bad.
It's fucking crazy, right? Making a ton of money a year, like ton. She says, "Are you ready for the bad?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "You're about to go through hell." And I said, "What are you talking about?" Expand. She says, "Everything that you know to be real is not going to be real." And she said, "There's nothing that you could do about it." She said, "If you try and say and defend yourself, it's going to fall on deaf ears. No one is going to listen to you. No one is going to believe in you." She said, 30 years ago, the sun crossed the moon. She said some astrology shit, and she said something devastating happened in your life, but you was too young to remember. It's about to happen.
Okay. So you saw that. Okay? So let's look at this. Irv Gotti is born June 26, 1970. That's what the record states. Okay? Now, here's the key, because he's a Cancer. But I know you're saying, well, wait a minute. The sun looks like it's in front of Gemini. Here's the disclaimer. Without going into deep, the earth sits on a tilt and it casts the illusion that the sun is in Gemini. Okay? So sometimes it don't line up. The sun is not in front of the Gemini. It appears in front of the Gemini constellation, but it's really in Cancer. It's like this, ladies and gentlemen. The earth spins at over 1,000 miles per second. Okay? And is 93 million miles away from the sun, meaning directly in front of the sun. At all times, the earth, to a degree, is in front of the sun because it's constantly going around the sun. But in your earthly reality, it looked like the sun comes up and it looked like the sun rises above your head. It didn't look like the sun goes down and is set and it totally disappears. So you know you're living in a cosmic illusion is what I call it. Facts. You live in a place that's a cosmic illusion because the sun don't rise, nor does it set, nor is it ever above your head when it's 93 million miles away in front of you as you're going around it. Nor do you feel the earth spin. But since the earth is spinning, that's casting the illusion that the sun is in the east, then it's in the south, then it's in the west. But you don't feel the speed, but it is spinning. So understand that, okay, I made a point that, hey, I'm in an illusion. I'm in a bubble. Within this illusion in the bubble, it casts the illusion that the sun appears in front of Gemini right now. Okay? All right. So he's born June 26, 1970, right at the foot. The sun is in the position right at the foot of Gemini. This is an astronomical fact. Okay? So let's look at June 24th, 2002, because the year was 2002 when Irv got this reading, December 2002, okay? When I searched back in 2002, there was a full moon lunar eclipse that took place on June 24th, just 2 days before Irv's birthday. Very important, because that means it was a full moon. That eclipse was in direct opposition, and I keep showing you opposition in astrology represents a conflict. So in other words, you that's looking at the sun right now, theoretically, let's say you are the moon and it's an eclipse taking place. Okay. And since you're the moon, you're in opposition to the sun and the earth is in the middle. That's Irv Gotti. Okay. So this represents, since it's 2 days before his birthday, this represents a very powerful time. And when it's an eclipse, I told you everything is on the same level. What do I mean by that? Every new moon, if it's a solar eclipse, every new moon, when the moon is in front of the sun, it don't block out the sunlight, because it seems like the moon can be a little higher than the sun or a little lower. They're just not on the same level, for lack of a better word. Okay. But every now and then they are on the same level, and then the moon blocks out light of the sun, because it's not an eclipse every month, but the moon goes in front of the sun every month. Okay. So the eclipses are more powerful because everything is on the same level. Irv Gotti, in this sense, had an eclipse dead to the degree where the sun was at when he was born, just 2 days before his birthday. This is very powerful. It's going to mark a significant change in his life. Okay. My point that I really want to point out is, look above the sun. What appears to be above is the planet Saturn. And this is what I mean by the cosmic illusion. Saturn can't be technically on top of the sun. How? When Saturn itself is 888 million miles away from the sun. So don't look at Saturn as being on top of the sun. Look at Saturn as being 888 miles behind the sun. Okay? That's what's really taking place. So now Saturn is actually in perfect alignment in the year 2002 at the time of an eclipse by Irv Gotti's birthday. Saturn is crossing the path of the sun. Okay, so when the astrologer told him that, I'm going to say that she's talking about Saturn crossing the path of the sun. Irv Gotti made reference to she said the moon crossed the path of the sun. Well, listen, it was again on the 24th. That's absolutely correct, because what happened was it was an eclipse. Again, you can't see this eclipse because it's a full moon eclipse. But let's just say you looking at this video, you are in the position of the moon in direct opposition to Irv Gotti's sun's placement. Okay. Facts. And at the same time, Saturn is in perfect alignment with this eclipse, and Saturn is crossing the path of the sun. That you can see clearly. Okay. So let's start getting into some energy here. All right. The sun. I got one arrow pointing at one thing: authority. The sun gives you a sense of self. It's who you are. Okay. All right. This is why you see other keywords: spirit, being. Okay. Self-expression, all the way to the far right column. Self-expression. The sun represents you. Okay. This is why once think about this. The solar plexus, solar, where your umbilical cord is at, and you connect it to mommy. So you get that gut feeling in your soul. We're talking about the solar expression right here. Okay? Facts. All right? So this is authority. Okay? And it's masculine. Back in the day, this was the sun god Apollo. Okay? Facts. All right? So let's look at the keyword for Saturn. Notice I have a big arrow pointing to the authoritarian inside of the paragraph, because Saturn too represents authority. This is interesting, because as it represents authority and the sun represents authority, there's going to be some type of clashes with the authority. The sun is just self-expression of who you are. So Irv Gotti is a boss in his own right. We talking about CEO. We talking about a boss, a founder, a boss. Murder Inc. He's a boss. That's the sun placement for him. But then the other planet that represents authoritative energies is crossing the path of the sun It's like, okay, well, boss, I'm gonna need you to have a little run-in with some other people who call themselves bosses. Okay, so January that year, the following year rather, because he got this reading in December. So when January rolled around is when he started having issues with the government. Okay, and what happened? They put him in confinement. Look at the arrow. I'm not making this shit up. I'm showing you what's popping. All right, confinement. Okay, so then of course you can say he went to jail for a quick second, made bail, he out, beat the case. Right. Justice is another keyword. Time, because that's what they want to try to, in this society, your punishment is time. Okay, that's called go to jail, time. Okay, and then losses. Losses could be, hey, we confiscate this and you take this, and don't get it twisted. Irv Gotti lost money because record labels went and messed with him at that particular time. So to a degree, you got unexpected expenses that's coming up. You know what I mean? So therefore he lost money. Why? All because the planet Saturn has signified it's crossing this particular path. Oh, snap. I almost forgot. Look at the last sentence of the Saturn paragraph. It says it takes just under 30 years to orbit the zodiac. So Saturn is crossing the path along with it takes 30 years, just like Irv Gotti said, the lady told him. Man, listen, man. Booyah! Can we get a bomb on that? We need some sound effects on that. Real simple. It's really that simple, right? But here's the key, right? One of the keys, because the lady had told him there's nothing that you can do about it. Certain laws were already set in motion. So to a degree, it was like you couldn't do nothing about this particular situation because let's just say your earlier friendships and who you were affiliated with and things like that has already been set in motion, period. You know what I'm saying? So if you come from the street life or whatever the case may be, let's just say that's an environmental fact. And now since that's a fact, that energy has already been set in motion. So now it's just coming up to a later time to say, okay, I want to deal with the past. Okay, I want to deal with that because I believe that, whatever it is they say that they believe, which was totally erroneous and false. All right. So technically it was something that he did about it. He had his ducks in a row, took care of business, and he beat the case. All right. Wasn't dirty, handled business. So that's what you have to do. Why? Because Saturn's energy represents discipline. On a higher side, it represents success. All right. And maybe I'll do a Jay-Z joint, but it's on the blog on hiphopastrology.com where when Jay had got Tidal, if I'm either Tidal or Rock Nation Sports, one of the two, Saturn, because Saturn's in Sagittarius right now. So it's in the sign for about 2.5 years. It's in the latter part of Sag. So a couple years ago, I think maybe it was Rock Nation Sports, Saturn was dead on Jay-Z's son. Did Jay-Z have the same experience that, Irv went through at that time? No. He had already had some things earlier in his life, but at that time, Jay-Z was making certain deals. You see what I'm saying? Business moves. It was another type of energy, okay? The key is handling your business. And the beautiful thing about this craft is the decisions that you make today, you can always see the effects of it in the future, always. And then it gets even more dope because you could look at the future and see what the environment can be. And then you can kind of start making decisions right now that's going to match a future payout time. Hello, that's game. That's really fun. All right. So I just wanted to give y'all that. All right. Hip Hop Astrology TV, man. Check us out, man. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. Hit the button. Subscribe. Share with a friend. Everybody know they zodiac sign. Listen, I'm in a lane all by myself with this, man. I am going to show you when physical things happen to stars, okay? When they happen to stars, I am going to show you the divine heavenly correspondence to it, okay? So listen, this is, to me, honestly, it's the most important information that's coming out. And it's not that you star chasing, because when I say that, I'm saying really take your time and scroll this channel, and then, you know, start looking at some of those Nostradamus videos that I did. And I started talking about, you know, on this day, you're going to see XYZ happen. And then boom, it happens in the world. That's what makes this the most prominent information when I say that. All right. I'm really talking about the ability to be able to accurately tell you when a chain of events is going to take place to the very day. Okay. That's what I mean when I say that. All right. So subscribe, share with a friend. Get at me, man. I'm on Twitter, Real Urban Guru. All right. Instagram, Real Urban Guru. Got a question? Comment? Call me direct. 267-403-4078. All right. So with that, I'll leave you in peace.
Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.